Why did you bring me into this world, dear mother? A journey from pain to purpose. Dear mother, sometimes I ask you a question that comes from the deepest corner of my heart, dear mother. Why did you bring me into this world? Not because I hate my life, not because I want to give up, but because sometimes I look at myself and wonder whether I have achieved enough to justify the hopes you and father placed in me, dear mother. I am 20 years old now, and when I look around, I see people of my age who seem to be far ahead of me. Some have built businesses, some have earned impressive incomes, some travel in cars, wear expensive clothes and jewelries, and appear to have everything that I still dream about. And then I look at myself. I have spent these years pursuing degrees. I am still a student. I am still walking to university. I am still carrying books wealth, instead of money. While my classmates arrive at college on motorcycles and in cars, I sometimes arrive on foods. No, sometimes I always arrive on foot. And sometimes that work feels heavier than it actually, my friends. And sometimes that work feels heavier than it actually is. Not because walking is shameful, but because comparison makes ordinary things feel like failures. Sometimes I ask myself, what have I actually achieved, dear friends? Then I remind myself of something important. I have not wasted these years, I have invested them. There is a difference between being poor today and being without a future, dear friends. There is a difference between moving slowly and standing still. And there is a difference between having less money today and having less worth as a human being. I am not have a car. I may not have expensive jewelry. I may not have millions in my bank account, but I have something that cannot be taken away from me easily. That is knowledge. But I have something that cannot be taken away from easily. That is knowledge. Wisdom, okay? And I have continued learning when life gave me reasons to stop. I choose education when immediate comfort was available elsewhere. I walked to university because I believed that one day the knowledge I am collecting will become a foundation of something greater. Maybe today I am walking. But walking does not mean I will always remain where I am. Every great journey begins with a step, and sometimes the person walking quietly today becomes the person everyone noticed tomorrow. My classmates may be ahead of me today. My classmates may be ahead of me today. So what? Their success is not my failure. Their motorcycle does not make me fit, worthless. Their car does not make me walk, meaningless. Their salary does not determine my potential, and their achievements does not cancel mine. Perhaps they started earlier, perhaps they made different choices. That is their journey. This is my journey. This is mine. This is my journey. I have chosen a longer road, or road of education, or road of patience, or road of perseverance, and I refuse to be ashamed of that road. But I also know something else. But I also know something else. Education alone is not enough, or degree is not the distinction. A degree is not the distinction, it is a tool. My master's degree must eventually become competence. My knowledge must become action. My learning must become value. And my value must eventually create opportunities not only for myself but also for my family and society. My parents are getting older. One day I want to become their support system. I want to reach a point where my mother does not have to worry about my future. I want my father to feel that all the sacrifice he made were meaningful, dear friends. That day may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but I am building towards it. So, mother, perhaps now I understand why you brought me into this world. Maybe I was not born merely to become rich. Maybe I was born to become capable. Maybe I was not born to compete with the person walking beside me. Maybe I was born to discover how far my own feet can carry me. Perhaps my story is not about becoming successful at 23. Perhaps my story is about becoming unbreakable at 23. Dear friends, I am still learning, still struggling, still working, still studying, still dreaming, and that is not the end of my story. It is only a chapter. One day, when I look back at these days, I may remember the university road. I may remember walking while others arrived in vehicles. Dear friends, I may remember asking my mother why she brought me into this world. I may remember walking while others arrived in vehicle, cars, motorcycle, and wearing expensive clothes and jewellery. I may remember feeling inferior. I may remember feeling inferior. I may remember asking my mother why she brought me into this world. But I hope that one day I will smile and say, thank God I keep walking. Thank God I kept walking. Because the road that embarrassed me today may become the road that taught me resilience. The loneliness that hurts me today, the loneliness that hurts me today, teach me self reliance. The struggle that exhausts me today may build my character. And the education that seems, and the education that seems to make me a slave of may degrees today. The education that seems me make a slave of degrees today may eventually become the instrument through which I change my life. So if you are listening to me and you feel behind, listen carefully. Do not measure your life only by what you won at 23. Do not compare your first chapter with somebody else's 10th chapter. Do not allow another person's car to make you ashamed of your journey. Do not allow another person's wealth to convince you that you are worthless. Keep learning, keep improving, keep working. But remember, education must eventually be education must eventually be converted into skill into action, and action into results. Are you understand? Please remember, my dear friends, education must eventually be converted into skill into action, and action into results. I am not promising myself that tomorrow will suddenly become easy. I am promising myself something more realistic. I will not stop moving forward. Today I may walk to university. Tomorrow I may lead a project. One day I may create employment. One day I may support my parents. One day I may become the person my younger self desperately needed to see. And when that day comes, I will not be ashamed of the young man who walked to class. Dear friends, I will be proud of him. That will me because he kept walking when he had every reason to feel defeated. My journey is not late, dear friends. My journey is mine. My journey is mine. And as long as I keep learning, growing, and moving forward, my story is still being written, dear friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't forget to write your meaningful comment in the comment section. Thank you so much.